In a small fishing village by the sea, there lived a 27-year-old man named Adrian. He was a weaver by trade, skilled with his hands, known for creating colorful cloths that shimmered like waves. Yet despite his talent, Adrian's heart was never at rest. Each day his mind churned endlessly, like the restless tides he lived beside. Thoughts circled him like seagulls over the water. He thought of his past mistakes, of the arguments he once had with his late father, of the opportunities wasted when he was younger. He thought of the future. What if his weaving business failed? What if storms destroyed the fishing boats? What if he grew old alone and forgotten? His mind was like a crowded market filled with voices, pulling him in every direction. At night he tossed and turned in his small room, unable to sleep. The stars shone over the sea, the waves sang their eternal rhythm, but he could not hear them. His head was filled with noise. Even laughter had left him. Joy seemed far away, buried under layers of thoughts he could not control. His friends often said, "Adrian, you are too serious. Life is not only about worry." But their words fell on ears too heavy with storms. One morning, after a long night of sleepless tossing, Adrian walked along the shore. The sun was rising, painting the sky with soft gold, and the fishermen were pushing their boats into the surf. He passed two men talking and overheard their words. They spoke of a wise woman named Elira who lived in the hills beyond the village. Long ago, she had been a teacher in the city, guiding troubled minds, but now she lived quietly in a hut by the cliffs. Some said she had helped many who came to her, teaching them how to find calm. Adrian stopped in his tracks, his heart suddenly lighter. Perhaps she can help me, he thought. I cannot go on like this. And so, with a spark of hope, he decided to seek her out. The path to Elira's home was not easy. Adrian carried a small bundle of food and water and began walking through narrow trails that wound uphill. The sea glittered below him, but he hardly looked at it. The climb was long, his feet ached, and the sun pressed hard upon his back. His mind still spun with doubts. What if she refused to see him? What if this was foolish? What if even wisdom could not silence his thoughts? Yet he walked on. At last, near sunset, he reached a small stone house perched on the cliffs. Vines climbed its walls and wildflowers grew around its edges. The air smelled of salt and lavender. On a wooden chair sat an elderly woman with silver hair neatly tied behind her. Her eyes were closed, her face calm, as if she were listening to the quiet music of the world. Adrian approached with respect and bowed. "Mother Elira, I have heard you help those who suffer in their minds." "I am Adrian, a weaver from the village below. My thoughts never stop. I live in the past and fear the future. I want peace, but I cannot find it. Will you help me?" Elira slowly opened her eyes, and they were deep and steady like the sea. She studied him for a long moment, then gave a faint smile. "You seek peace," she said. "But peace is not a gift one can hand to another. It must be discovered within. Still, I will guide you. If you truly wish to learn, you must accept a small task." Adrian's voice was eager. "I will do anything you ask." The woman went inside her hut and returned holding a small clay lamp with a single candle burning in it. She placed it gently in his hands. "Take this candle. Walk down the path into the village market. Remain there until the flame has burned for 1 full hour, then return to me. But listen carefully, you must not let the flame go out. Not from the wind, not from carelessness. Guard it with your full attention." Adrian stared at the candle, puzzled. "That is all?" Elira's lips curved into a faint, knowing smile. "If it were so simple, you would not need me. Go." So he began the task. He carried the candle down the narrow path into the village, where the market was alive with chaos. Children ran between stalls, laughing and shouting. Merchants called to customers, holding up fish and cloth. The scent of roasted food floated in the air, and musicians played flutes and drums, but Adrian could not look at any of it. His eyes stayed fixed on the flame, his hands steady. Every gust of wind made his heart leap, and he quickly shielded the light. Every step he took with care. Once a boy brushed against him and nearly knocked him off balance. Adrian did not scold him. He only tightened his grip and thought of the flame. The smells of food tempted him. His friends waved, voices called out, but he did not respond. The world around him faded, until there was only the tiny flame inside the clay lamp. His entire universe became that fragile light, Minutes turned into an hour. The candle slowly shrank until it was nearly gone. At last, when the hour had passed, Adrian turned back and climbed the hill to Elira's home. His arms were tired, his shoulders tense, but the flame still burned. Elira was waiting. She looked at the lamp and nodded with quiet approval. Well done. Now tell me, Adrian, what did you see in the market? Adrian frowned, confused. What did I see? Nothing. I saw only the flame. I did not notice the children, the vendors, the music, not even my friends. And did you think about yesterday? She asked. Did you worry about tomorrow? He paused, realization dawning. In that hour, his mind had been utterly still. No past regrets, no future fears, no storm of thoughts. There was only the fragile flame and each careful step he took. His eyes widened. No, I thought of nothing else. My mind was quiet. Elira's gaze deepened. And that, Adrian, is the secret. Your suffering does not come from life itself. It comes from the endless thoughts you clutch, the past you cannot change, the future you cannot control. Your mind is like your weaving loom, always spinning even when no thread is needed. But when you place your whole attention in this moment, the loom rests. Peace appears as naturally as the calm sea at dawn. Adrian's throat tightened. He bowed deeply, tears welling in his eyes. Mother Elira, I understand. Peace was inside me all along. I was too lost in thought to see it. He remained with her for several days, learning more. She taught him to breathe deeply and feel each breath as if it were the first and last. She taught him to walk slowly, to notice the ground beneath his feet, the whisper of the wind, the cry of distant gulls. Do not fight your thoughts, she said. Let them come and go like waves, but do not chase them. Stay here, in this breath, in this sound, in this step. That is how the storm inside you becomes calm. When he returned to his weaving, Adrian practiced her teaching. As he worked, he focused only on the thread between his fingers, the rhythm of the shuttle moving back and forth. He noticed the colors blending, the patterns forming, and he felt joy rise inside him again. At night, when memories tried to trouble him, he returned to his breath. The thoughts came, but he no longer clung to them. Sleep returned. Laughter returned. The villagers soon noticed the change. Adrian, you are different, they said. Your face is brighter, your eyes peaceful. What has happened to you? And Adrian would smile gently. I learned to guard the flame of the present moment. Years passed, and Adrian became not only a weaver of cloth, but also a weaver of wisdom. People came to him with restless minds, and he would hand them a candle, or sometimes even a cup of water, and ask them to carry it with full attention. When they returned, confused by the task, he would explain softly, Peace is not found in running from life or in chasing after tomorrow. It is found here in this step, in this breath, in this moment. Guard it, and you will know calm. Adrian's restless mind, once like a raging sea, had become still and clear, reflecting the light of the present. The lesson of Elira lived on through him and through all who listened. Peace is not something we search for outside ourselves. It is the gift of being fully alive right here, right now.